Record. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the North American Invitational here in Onondaga, New York. My name is David Bowie, and I'll bring you this lacrosse matchup between the Seneca Marksmen and the Denver Big Tunas, as we are already underway with the Big Tunas. Starting it off. Scott Thompson going around, tries to go in through, and that's not going to go through as a crease violation comes in. And looks like the goaltender Mason Jones is a little slow to get up as that net came off its positioning. It looks like he's going to be okay, and thank goodness for that. Don't want an injury, especially early in this contest. There it comes. There's a shot from Seneca. That's going to go wide. Loose ball out in front in the slot. Now trickles into the near side corner, and Seneca will come away with it. Seneca with a shot. That just goes wide, and we will go in transition. And that'll be laid behind for Seneca. Sorry, for Denver. Hauser has it. He gets it to his man. Centering pass in the slot, and there's a huge check. And now there's going to be a delayed penalty call. I believe that was going to come from that second cross check from behind. The first one was clean. The second one, not so much. And that should go against the Seneca Marksmen. And it will. So Connor Leons will go to the box. 1 minute for cross-checking. And play will resume as Denver will go to the power play for the first time in this game. Drew Lazar with the shot, and that's saved by Jones. Long outlet pass the other way. Could be an odd man rush chance. Here's a shot, and that's saved. Bear Scott making the save. Seneca still has the ball in the offensive zone. Turn around. Lucas Beaver with the shot. That just goes and is saved by Scott. In transition are the Tunas. Drew Lazar. He's going to wait for the rest of the cavalry to come on with him. To the far side. Stretch pass, and that shot, I think that was, the shot was deflected, and that's why it went high and wide. Over and back is called, so now we'll go back the other way. Connor Leons, he's fresh out of the box. Oh, now it's an over and back as that pass was taken with Andrew Young stepping back as his back foot was behind the center line. Mental gaff there for the Marksman. Now here comes Delaney Edward up the wing. Towards a bit of a check. And now he's getting pushed up against the boards. He's getting pinned. He's going to try to get some help in there. Here comes the rest of the squad to come into the scrum. Big battle for it. And Seneca's going to come away with it. That's Andrew Young, who's able to scoop up the loose ball. And in transition, come back the other way, come the Marksman. Long cross-ring pass goes wide, but the Marksman will pick it up off the rebound. Shot, and that was deflected off someone. And the clock will reset, but it will be Denver's ball. Drew Lazar gets it back to his man on the far side. There's a shot, and score! And just like that, first blood goes to the Denver Big Tunas as they were able to capitalize in transition and score from the point. And it's 1-0 Denver. Opening faceoff is going to be won by Denver, and they'll pick up right where they left off. Scott Thompson. Drew Lazar kind of looking around. Takes the shot, and that was deflected off a defender, but it's going to be picked up. There's a beauty of a goal from behind the net, laid out one-handed out in the air. And that is goal number 2 for number 10 of Denver Big Tunas. What a highlight reel goal to come out from behind the net and shoot it one-handed over top the goalie, beating Mason Jones. That is now 2-0. Marksmen win the face-off, but have lost possession from an errant pass. So in transition come the Big Tunas. And that ball is jarred loose, and back the other way we go, or will it? Seeing that ball go back and forth in between zones. And let's see if the Big Tunas can have a handle on the ball this time. Tyler Doskins gets it out to Drew Lazar. Lazar shimmies in. Tries to go over top and jumps into the crease. And there's going to be a cross-checking penalty. And that will go against the Marksmen. There's number 22, Jonah Mohawk will be accredited with the penalty. And it looks like we might have a couple more going to the penalty box. So we have offsetting penalties here, quite coincidental penalties here for these teams. Don't quite see who is in the box. Connor Leons is in the box for the Marksmen on the coincidental minors. That's going to be Drew Lazar that's going to be in the box for Denver. But it's going to be 5-on-4 action in favor of Denver as they're on the power play. Over and back will be called. So in transition to the other way come Andrew Young and the Seneca Marksmen. Young trying to get around his man. He's facing off two checks. Seneca is shorthanded for another 8 seconds. Now there's a rebound out in front, and that just goes high and over the net. Penalty is over, and we're back to 5-on-5. But the two men who serve the coincidental minors must stay in the box until the next whistle. Seneca on the attack. Shot out to the slot, score! Lucas Beaver wide open out in the slot area, had no one in between him except for the goalie, and he beats his man one-on-one as he goes opposite short side. And he's able to put his team on the board. That is 2-1 now, cutting the deficit to 1. As the Big Tunas still hold a 2-1 lead over the Seneca Marksmen. 5:30 left to go here in the first half. And faceoff is won by the Tunas. Drew Lazar gets it out to his man, and he takes a shot, and that's going to be saved by Jones. Scott Thompson with the shot. Seneca now in transition, going back the other way. Lyndon Stevens, nice little spin move to try to get through. Easily defended, but Stevens turns around, takes a shot. That's high and wide, and that got a pinball back between the post and one of the marksmen. Cornbread Jimerson, that was the one who was kind of part of that ricochet. Oh, that was a huge slash. A little extracurricular activity going on between these two teams in between whistles. Referees doing a great job of keeping him under control. Looks like we've got a penalty coming up. Looks like it's going to be against the marksman. And let's just see who the guilty party is. That's going to be Connor Leons going back to the box. It's time for a cross-checking. There's also a little backsass coming from the Big Tunas bench onto the officials. The official was warning them to cease any more of the backsass. Nonetheless, Denver Tunas back on the power play. Rip from the point, that just goes wide left. It'll bounce all the way back, and it will be an over and back. And in transition, here comes Parker Jimerson. All alone, goes in, and there's going to be a penalty coming up. That'll be against Drew Lazar. And good effort and a great job by number 32, Parker Jimerson, to draw the holding call against arguably one of the best players on the Denver team. And he's going back in the box for 2 minutes, for 1 minute. That's really huge. You get a penalty, you get a power play, and you take away the best player for a minute. That's big news for the Seneca marksman, but let's see if it can translate. Now we've got a turnover because of a crease violation. And now Denver will take over. Number 10, he's already got 2 goals on the game. Trying to look for a third one, and he just stepped in the crease before he took that shot. Long outlet pass. Oh, just not there for Lyndon Stevens, or he could have had a breakaway chance. Now he throws it from behind the back. Low shot, and that was deflected. Looks like that went off of Anders Hauser. 18 seconds left in the penalty for Denver. Now the Marksmen come back the other way. Breakaway chance. Here it goes. Shot. Score! Lucas Beavers scores his second of the game on a huge breakaway chance from a beautiful feed from Seneca. And it is now 2-2, a tie game. Both teams are now back to even strength, as Seneca is now in the attacking zone. Turnaround shot, and that's going to be saved by Jones. And we're going to get a cross-checking penalty. I believe that's going to go against Glenn Lazar of the Big Tunas, but let's see. Actually, in fact, it's going to be against the marksman, but it is going to be a cross-checking penalty. And there's 36 seconds left here in the first half, so you likely see this for the rest of the period. Shot, that just goes wide left. Delayed penalty coming up here. It's going to be against Big Tuna. A huge desperation pass actually goes on the mark. for Seneca, for Cornbread Jimerson, and he's basically just going to eat out the clock as much as possible. And that'll do it for the first half. And it will be a slashing call against Denver. Just going to find out who the guilty party is. I couldn't hear the referee call on who got the penalty, but nonetheless, it will be a slashing call against the Denver Big Tunas. So we will have 4-on-4 action just for a little bit here as we go into the second half between this matchup of the Seneca Marksmen and the Denver Big Tunas. If you're just joining us, my name is David Bowie, and we are here at the North American Invitational of 2019 in Onondaga, New York, just south of Syracuse. And we are at a tie game, 2-2 here at the first half. But don't go away, as, again, these intermissions are very short, only 2-minute intermissions, and we're already halfway through it. As it has been absolutely heated between these two teams. Lots of extracurricular activity happening in between whistles. A lot of pushing and shoving. And a little bit of lip service coming from these teams to the referees. So referees have their hands full with these two teams and see if they can keep them in line and in order as we are about to start the second half. And thank you again for watching this on Lacrosse-TV. Again, my name is David Bowie. Glad to have you along here as I will bring you the rest of the broadcast for this game. So again, I believe we will start with 4-on-4 action, but it won't be for long. Seneca will get a power play after this. So Glenn Lazar is going to serve the slashing penalty. And the clock on the scoreboard hasn't even started yet. So the scoreboard is going to read it wrong, but it's going to be 2 minutes. Sorry, 1 minute, sorry. Minor penalty, and there's a low shot. That just goes wide. Denver still recovering the loose ball. There's a quick shot, and that'll be saved. Or did that go wide? Either way, it's Seneca's ball. Long outlet pass. Not quite on the mark, but almost went in. That could have registered as a shot, as Bear Scott almost couldn't corral it and could have fell loose on him. Denver in the offensive zone. However, they're down one man. They're taking their time. Save by Scott, and now we're back to 5-on-5 lacrosse. Marksman. Here's a chance shot. That just goes wide, and it bounces up in the air. Rebound in the slot shot. Score! And Connor Leon's able to get it through 5-hole, and again, there's more pushing, more shoving, more jaw-jacking between these two teams. Now there's going to be a penalty to the Marksmen after that one. But Connor Leons gets the goal. It'll be 5-on-4 action now as the Marksmen will forfeit a penalty. However, they do get a goal, which is the most important part. But let's see if that penalty is going to come back and haunt them. That's Frank Thompson that's serving the penalty. There's a quick shot, and that just bounces wide. Loose ball on the near side will be scooped up by Lucas Beaver, looking for the hat trick. Lucas takes a shot, That goes from behind the net. Rebound picked up by the Marksmen. Lyndon Stevens tries to pass it from behind the net. It goes off the glass. And now in transition come Denver on the power play, but half of it has elapsed already. Ball being shuffled around. Waits, takes a shot, and that was deflected, and that goes wide. Recovered by Lyndon Stevens. Long outlet pass coming the other way. Could have a one-on-one chance. Puts on the brakes, gets it to his man, takes a shot, and that's saved by Scott. Brett Logan just couldn't corral the ball fast enough. He had to take an extra second or two to really get himself settled in, so he couldn't take the shot, but he waited for his man to come in. But Scott up to the task. Here's a quick shot, and that's going to be saved by Jones. Long outlet pass the other way. Out of the box, Thompson trying to cut through. He's now being harassed by two men. Takes a shot, dives in, and that's going to be saved by Scott. And Thompson goes back to his bench saying, what do you expect from me? He's a bigger guy, doesn't have quite the speed as your average lacrosse player. But by gosh, he does have a lot of power behind him, but two Tunas were able to catch up to him, and now give him back the other way. Comes Gage Stevens, but he can't really corral that ball soon enough. So now the Tunas will go over in transition. Denver into the offensive zone. Scott Thompson with the ball. Thompson absorbing a couple slashes. Now he's got to lane it open in the middle. He takes a shot, and that just goes high and wide. Actually, it was a save, and the referees are saying it was deflected and tipped out, so it will be Denver's ball in the offensive zone. Hauser goes around, tries to pass from behind the net, and that pass is intercepted by Mason Jones, and it makes a long outlet pass. Perfect shot, saved by Scott. He just robbed Parker Jimerson on the breakaway. And the Seneca bench was just not happy with that one. And score! Drew Lazar able to tie things up. One of the best players on the Big Tunas team. And he gets one here and gets that game tying goal. And a great job by Denver to get that goal in transition off the breakaway chance. And as I said, the Marksmen were just throwing their hands up in the air. They thought they had one, cheering on their teammate. And then in turn, Denver able to get the game tying goal here with 9:10 left to go here in the second half. Denver wins the faceoff. Here comes Drew Lazar. He's open up in the slot. Takes a shot. Trying to go 5-0, but a great save by Mason Jones. Now back the other way. Here's a chance. Shot, score. And Andrew Young in transition, able to get the breakaway chance all alone in the slot. And he makes no mistake against Bear Scott. And he restores the 1-goal lead for the Seneca Marksmen. It's now 4-3 with 8:25 left to go here in the second half. What a back and forth game we're seeing, and a false start will give the ball to Denver. Czar gets it to his man, Scott Thompson, who takes a shot. That goes wide, but the ball is recovered in the air by Lazar. Drew Lazar winds up. Now he takes a shot. That's going to be saved in the net of Jones. And we've got a whistle. I think a penalty is going to come up here. Let's see what the call is. It's going to be coincidental minors here. as Tyler Doskins is going in for Seneca. Sorry, for Denver, and Brett Logan will go in for Seneca. So we're still going to have 5-on-5. But we do have offsetting minors. There we go, Seneca's got their 5th man on now. Centering pass, there's a shot, and saved by Scott. Oh, there's going to be a penalty coming up. I believe that's going to be against the Marksmen. 1 minute for holding it. Oh boy, oh boy. There was a late shove there by Andrew Young, and it looks like he's going to go to the box too. Andrew Young and Lucas Beaver headed to the box, and in addition, Tyler Doskins is in the penalty box as well with Reed Alberton. So a couple personal fouls. And I think you can start a bit of a fiesta here in the penalty box. It's getting crowded. A total of 5 men are in the boxes, split 3-2. So we see 5 big Tunas out there, but only 3 Marksmen, discluding the goalies. The Marksmen are saying, hey, we need 1 more man out here. And a cluster of penalties has really got this game a little bit in disarray, as the referees are trying to sort things out here with our scoreboards, keepers, and staff. Looks like everything's going to get sorted out. So Denver will go on a power play for a minute. Actually, now we're right back to 5-on-5, as just had to wait for the whistle to go for the 5th man to come back on. And we're getting a whistle from the ref here. And they're wondering, the referee is wondering, why did one of the marksmen come back out? There seems to be some confusion going on. The marksmen are saying that the 5th man that came back on was eligible to do so. So trying to get a second pair of ears down there to see what's going on. That was Brett Logan who came out from the box. So we just saw Tyler Doskins go back to the bench. Now the Tunas only have 1 man in the box. So it's going to be 5-on-4 action, as Seneca was able to get back Brett Logan. So there's 2 men now in the Marksman box, 1 in the Denver box. And now finally everything's been sorted out. And now play will resume. 38 seconds left on the power play. 20 on the shot clock. Denver takes a shot. That just goes wide. Bounce all the way back, and it'll be an over and back call. Seneca on the attack. They are shorthanded now for another 16 seconds. And I'm pretty sure they're just going to wear out the clock for as long as they can before they get back to even strength. Parker Jimerson is kind of dancing around the line here, just wearing out the clock, and there we go. Out comes Andrew Young, and we're back to even strength. Back in transition the other way. Here comes Drew Lazar on a breakaway, and that just goes wide. And oh my, Looks like Mason Jones kind of collapsed on the play. And it's going to be a penalty up against Drew Lazar. Could be goaltender interference, but Lazar is disputing it. Doesn't like the call. I believe that's going to be a minute for goaltender interference. 3 minutes. So it's a 3-minute major penalty for interference. And I'm inclined to believe that it wasn't just because it was an interference that was the major, but perhaps what Lazar has been doing before, having some confrontations with the referees, maybe what got the 3 minutes and they just got fed up with it. We go back to Mason Jones there. He's still down on one knee. Let's hope it'll be okay. Drew Lazar is visibly frustrated. Right, he does not agree with the call, but he will serve a 3-minute major. That is Mason Jones. That's down to one knee, who was the goalie involved in that little collision. Let's go, he'll be okay. It looks like he's able to get back to his own feet under his own power, which is good news. So play will resume, and the Seneca Marksmen will not only have a 3-minute power play, they're also taking out one of the best players of the Denver Big Tunas for 3 minutes in Drew Lazar. Ball is cleared by Denver and will trickle back to Mason Jones. And he will get it to his man to begin the next rush on this 3-minute major power play. There's a shot, and that's going to be shoulder side by Bear Scott. Able to shrug it off with the right shoulder. And a clear attempt is successful for Denver. And actually will be recovered by Torrey Welch on the far side corner. So that'll shave off some more time. Denver just trying to eat up as much clock as possible, but that bar gets jarred loose. Able to be recovered. 17 seconds left on the clock. 1 minute has passed in the 3-minute major. Denver just playing keep away at this point with Seneca. There's a long shot, but it just goes way wide, but I don't think Denver cares too much. They're just trying to shave off the clock. There's a chance back the other way. Shot, save by Scott. And now there's a goaltender interference penalty against Seneca, and Anson Gardner will head to the box. I don't think he likes that call. And it is indeed goalie interference, so he will go to the box for 1 minute. So we'll have 4-on-4 action for 1 minute, and then the Seneca Marksmen will go back on the power play for another 36 seconds. But that'll help mitigate some of the pressure for Denver, as they're now on the attack with 4-on-4. Scott Thompson coming up. Nice little stutter step move to get in there, but now he loses it on the second check. There's a shot from behind the back, and that's stopped by Jones. Scott Thompson takes a shot, tries to go 5-hole. Mason Jones shuts the door. Long outlet pass the other way for Brett Logan. He's going to pass it back to his man. Quick shot and delays it, so he takes no shot. And that was Parker Jimerson, who decided not to pull the trigger when he was all alone in the slot. And now delayed penalty calls coming up against the Big Tunas. And we're going to see what the call is. And it's going to be an illegal cross-check, as we're now going to get some odd 4-on-3 action, as Torrey Welch will serve the cross-checking penalty. So it'll be 4-on-3 for just 10 seconds. And then it'll be back to a 5-on-3 power play for the Marksmen. And just to note that the first penalty being served is a major penalty. Shot, saved by Scott. Rebound, there's a scramble for it out in the slot. Marksman pick it up. Aaron pass just ricochets off the half wall. And timeout is called by the Big Tunas. And I think they need to regroup here after some discipline issues. And I think the frustration for them is just starting to settle in now. We're starting to see the penalty box just constantly be filled up by somebody. Might have to start paying rent there in the penalty boxes. People are just staying in there for long periods of time. If you're just joining us here, my name is David Bowie, and we are here for the North American Invitational of Lacrosse here in Onondaga, New York, just south of Syracuse. Thank you for watching us and tuning into the broadcast here on Lacrosse-TV. You're watching the matchup between the Seneca Marksmen and the Denver Big Tunas. It is 4-3 as the Tunas right now have possession of the ball but are shorthanded 5-on-3. It'll be that way for another 23 seconds. That'll be 5-on-4, but that's only going to leave just over 12 seconds of 5-on-4 as the other penalty supersedes the time on the game clock. So here comes Denver. They've got a score here. Ball's in the near side corner, and that ball is thrown up and out of play. So it's going to be Seneca's ball. That's not going to play to the advantage of Denver. Now basically they can just kill the clock with possession. So Denver's got to be very heavy on the forecheck here and get something going on, but with having a man down, that's really difficult to do. And they're going to play keep away enough. And the Seneca Marksmen are able to come away with this scrappy battle between these two teams and are able to take the victory 4-3 over the Denver Big Tunas. And what a game this has been. So much physicality, pushing and shoving, so much emotion, but we've seen some great goal scoring here. But the Seneca Marksmen to pull away with the victory 4-3. My name is David Bowie. Thank you so much for joining us here on the broadcast for Lacrosse-TV. We'll have many games for you later on, so don't go away. But we will be back later on. But thank you again for joining us on this broadcast. Have yourself a pleasant day.